Today we're doing a review of the Able Carry Core Sling Mini. In this video, I'm gonna take my experience of reviewing 600 plus of the world's best bags, and we're gonna tear this little guy apart. We're gonna fully pack it out. I'm gonna show you exactly what it fits. We're gonna double check its advertised capacity, and I'm gonna give you my brutally honest pros and cons so you can know if this sling is worth the price or if it's a ripoff. And you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, because if you're not quite sold that this is the sling for you, I will make 2 alternative sling suggestions that might better suit your needs. Let's talk about the gist of the Able Carry Core Sling Mini. And I'm very excited about this sling, so much so that I had to beg Able Carry, beg them to send us one, because I wanted to check it out as quickly as possible. As of recording, this sling is still on pre-order, because Able Carry is one of the most iconic bag brands in the world. I would say most iconic micro bag brands, right? It's not like, we're not like dealing with like North Face and Patagonia, but in the world of hardcore bag nerds like myself, Able Carry has just been dropping some of the best bags in the game. Able Carry Max EDC, Able Carry Max, the Able Carry 13. And like the fact that they didn't have a sling yet is borderline astonishing. So now that they're bringing their first sling to market, it's a big deal, and I'm really excited to show you what the product's top features are. For the Mini, we have a very circular shape and a multi-fabric exterior. Mine is the ripstop version. They also use this beautiful fabric here in the front that has a bit of elasticity. I'm gonna let you know all the pros and cons with this fabric in the pocket in general in the next chapter. We've got the main compartment, which is the only zippered compartment on this bag, at least from the exterior. Inside this pocket, we have a bit more organization, including another zip pocket here. And I'll show you exactly how all that packs out 2 chapters from now. We've got a back sleeve and a detachable shoulder strap that connects via swivel-hardware and is very thin. And I feel like this is gonna be a con potentially for a lot of people, but we'll talk about that a bit more in just a minute. Now again, this is the Mini, which is advertised at 1.5 liters capacity. I think it's gonna be around a liter. Let's double check it. As you can see, the main compartment is fully packed out with our factory grade measuring balls. Let's just double check the dimensions real quick. We got a height of 5.5 inches, a width of just under 9 inches, and a fully packed out depth of just under 3.5 inches. All right, let's see the capacity of the main compartment. You can see this black dot right there is 1 liter. So we're coming in at, I call it like 1.25. And if you count the little bit of extra capacity you might get in this front pocket, I think 1.5 liters volume is a pretty fair assessment. As of recording, the Able Carry Core Mini Sling comes in 4 different fabric and color options. This is the field green ripstop. This is the sling when it's empty. And this is the sling when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. Margaret's 5'2", I'm 5'8", and Jason Bagmoa is 6'1". And don't worry, we're gonna fully pack out this sling throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All Able Carry products are protected by their lifetime warranty against manufacturing defects. And for all that, the Core Sling Mini runs around 70 to 90 USD, depending on which fabric you get. And the Core Sling Regular runs around 90 to 120 USD, also depending on the fabric. And if at any point during this review, you're really digging this sling and you're thinking about picking one up, we highly suggest doing so with the first link in the description below. 2 reasons why. First of which, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best gear reviews on the web. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk about the outside of the Able Carry Core Sling Mini. First up, we always kick off this section by talking about the aesthetic. And I think that the aesthetic varies from the Mini version to the regular version, as to where the Mini is a lot more rounded, a lot more circular, and in my opinion, because of that, a little bit more on the cute side. It's kind of adorable. And it really reminds me through and through of the Tomtoc Sling Bean. Similar circular shape, similar quick access, stretchy pocket in the front. But overall, I think the aesthetic and just kind of everything about this sling is very interesting to me. Reason being, Able Carry is one of the Hypalon brands, or one of the micro brands. I call them Hypalon brands. There's like this, a lot of these micro brands are using a lot of Hypalon, and it's not something that you see on usually higher priced brands, just something I say. So a lot of these Hypalon micro brands, the aesthetic is a little bit on the techier side, right? Think Air and Able Carry and Evergoods. There's a lot of variation in that aesthetic, but overall it kind of fits a bit of a vibe. But Able Carry has gone a different direction with these slings, a bit more playful. And that's not just because of the shape, but that's also because of the dual fabrics and the color choices of those fabrics. And I gotta say, it's not 100% my cup of tea, but I can just objectively analyze this and say, I think it looks nice. I love the fabric choice. I love the field green colors, but I can also understand how it might not be modern or techy or mean enough for some people in the carry community. Now, the biggest contributor adding to that playful sort of look, especially with the field green, are the fabrics. I don't think Able Carry specifies what this is, but it sort of reminds me kind of what's going on. Wait, no, I found it. I couldn't remember what bag this reminded me of, but it's this bag for sure, which is the 6 Moons ADC. And you can see they have this front pocket that uses this same exact fabric. It's got some stretchiness to it. Beautiful weave. You can see we're in a very similar ballpark here. Might not be as apparent on camera, but same thing's happening with this slings fabric. And I love the feel of this fabric. It was my favorite part about the 6 Moons bag. As you can see, nice and elastic, but it's a really interesting pocket in general. We'll talk about why in the next chapter. We're almost there. Able Carry's branding, very subtle on this laser cut hypalon. Now on the bottom, we have a crap ton of external lash points. How many, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. I'll feed you, little birdies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which seems like a lot, but I think that there might be something we can do with that with the harness system. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and talk about it. Actually, before we do, one big con for a lot of people is going to be the lack of any top handle on the Mini. And also potentially a con, but with some pros as well, is this harness system. First of all, let's just talk about how thin it is. I mean, holy guacamole. This strap is less than ½ inch. Which I think is fine for a sling this size, but you know, if it is a bit more decked out, right? You got heavier gear in here, this will cut into your shoulders a little bit more. Not terribly so. It's not gonna make you bleed your own blood. But I do think that comfort might be compromised with a shoulder strap at this width. But one thing that comfort is not compromised with is the hardware being used, which is some sort of swivel hardware. And this is great because the hardware moves with your body, which just makes it a more comfortable experience, which, let's be honest guys, this is a 1.5 liter sling. It's gonna be cozy basically no matter what. Unless you had it really decked out with heavy batteries and it's kind of pulling down your shoulder. But that aside, the swivel hardware choice was very nice. It's just kind of flowing with the bod. No matter which position you wanna put it in, the hardware swivels with you. It's like a beautiful dance. And best of all in this dance is that if you want to remove the shoulder strap, you can unclip it, therefore freeing yourself from the strap and going into tech pouch mode. This nylon is stunning. These are the little design choices that you're paying extra for with Able Carry, which means something to some people like me and absolutely not to other people. And if that's the case, like, go to Tomtoc, right? They're gonna give you a lot more value and they're not gonna spend as much money on nylon webbing. What's this hardware? I don't see anything about who the hardware is made by. I'm not familiar with this piece either. And for some brands, I'd be like, that's scary because I don't know if it's gonna break or not. But with Able Carry, their lifetime warranty is top notch. So if it does break, they'll get you back. And then back to the lash points. When you clip these shoulder straps into place, you got the top 2 lash points right here. But in theory, you could also clip it in right here. This spot is definitely for, you know, zipper pull leverage. But if you want to mix it up, you can clip it in there. And then the external lash points, if you want to get really weird with it, you can clip them into there and just kind of carry the sling your way if you want. I don't know if that's what it's there for. But in case you want to go into a more vertical mode I don't know for what reason, it is totally possible. Last note on the outside is this little back sleeve here. Don't really know the point of this. I'm not gonna really feel confident putting anything in this sleeve. Maybe if it's fully packed out. Let's see my iPhone 13. Yeah, I guess that, you know, if the sling is fully packed out, you can see my iPhone 13 fits pretty nicely. It's definitely not gonna slide out. And like I said, if the sling is more fully packed out, it's gonna press it against the sling even more and less likely to go flying, but no. I think maybe magnetic closure may have just helped provide a little bit of extra peace of mind, or maybe stitch one side in. I find it all a peculiar sort of design choice, unless I'm missing something. But you're not gonna be able to get like an umbrella in there, it's too small. Yeah, I'm a little perplexed by this. And another big con on this bag potentially is the fact that it doesn't have a back zippered wallet pocket. A lot of modern slings got a little zip right here, which you can then use to really safely store your passport and wallet, boarding pass if you're traveling. Curious to hear your thoughts though, like stoked about this? Are you gonna use it for anything that I'm not thinking of? Or do you wish that maybe a more traditional zippered pocket in the back was placed here instead? I give Able Carry props for sort of thinking outside the box, doing their own thing, but I'm not sure about the execution. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, moving on, let's talk about the inside of the Able Carry Core Sling Mini. Like I said, just the 2 pockets. Now we're gonna do this front pocket in a minute because more or less you're probably gonna fill out the main compartment first. These zippers are YKK, best zips in the game. We got these nylon zipper pulls right here. They're fine. These little lash points here can do a lot. You can clip your shoulder strap into them. You can use this to put both the zippers on one side and lock them into place, or they can just be used to easier open and close this compartment. Let's test out a bunch of different EDC and travel gear so you can see what the mini sling can fit. First of all, some things that it won't fit. Typical size water bottle. This is a 24-ounce Columbia, but let's be honest, you can't buy a sling this size and expect it to transport your apparatus of choice. Same thing with your standard size notebook, more like a notebook, am I right? But some things that can fit, back zippered pocket, good spot for your wallet, extra secure there. We've got 2 power mesh pockets in the front, good spot for AirPods, multi-tool, maybe even a phone battery as well. And then in the middle, you can throw some pens at the bottom. Got my Peak Design packable tote. That's about gonna do it with space. But let me give you something a bit more universally sized. I've got sunglasses. You can see sunglasses are also fitting in here as well. Let's see about with a case, just in case. Oh yeah, and that's about all you're gonna get out of it. And that's fine, like that's the beauty of a sling this size. It's not meant to carry all your gear, it's just meant to be a bit of a pocket reliever and then some. Now, moving back to this front compartment, we didn't really test the liters because when the sling is fully packed out, you're not really dealing with a lot. And even if you are, like you got space here, whatever you put there could potentially fall out. So it's not actual usable space. And the functionality of this pocket will depend on what you've got packed out in the main compartment. So right now, my main compartment feels a little jarred. Like I've got something hard here and then dead space here and then hard there again. So it's not like a smooth, flat surface. I can put my phone in there. You know, actually though, it works pretty fine. You can see my iPhone 13 with a case on, fitting in there. But I think that's gonna be kind of the gist of it, right? Let's test something more bulky. My Peak Design totes. This will work as well. God, I love this fabric. It's just got such a robust feel to it. It's so thick, but also this elasticity is nice. Granted, over time, if you really stretch this pocket too much, it might not look as beautiful. But the functionality is also because of this gusset right here at the bottom. That's where you're getting the extra space to play with, where you can put something a bit bulkier in there. This is a very nice design choice. And then going bulkier, I got a battery for my computer. Yeah, that works, but now we push the sling to full capacity. So more or less with the organization, I think it's interesting. This is definitely not gonna be this organizational sling for everyone. Able Carry went a very different route with their core slings, but I commend them for that. Popping the sling on now, the shoulder strap is fine, you know? I got this decked out. I would prefer it to be a little bit thicker myself. The axis is great, phone right there, looks cute as a button. Overall, a very interesting sling. Now, before I jump into the next section where we talk about the pros and the cons, I gotta let you know that if you're really digging this video, you might be a bit of a gearhead, or at the very least, you like bags and you probably travel in EDC a lot. And if that's the case, I wanna let you know that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do gear reviews on our YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, we kind of take it's like we get into an airplane of our own, and we take a 30,000 foot look out at what's happening in this incredible world of gear, carry, travel, and EDC. And basically what the gist of it is, I'm gonna deliver to your inbox on a weekly basis the newest drops, limited edition collabs, industry trends, from the biggest brands to the smallest micro brands and everything in between. So if you wanna keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in this incredible industry and also access our discount codes and giveaways, be sure to look for this globe emoji linked below. I hope to see you in your inbox. Let's talk about the overall pros and cons of the Able Carry Core Sling Mini. Pro number 1, I think it's got a very refreshing and fun aesthetic. Pro number 2, kind of everything about this front pocket. Sometimes it's not gonna be the most secure or most functional pocket, but God, it's just great to interact with. And pro number 3 is just gonna be all the high quality materials and fabrics that Able Carry is giving you on this sling. It is a very premium bag. But every bag has cons. Here's 3 of mine. Con number 1 for many is gonna be the lack of a hidden back wallet pocket on the back panel. Con number 2 might be just how thin the shoulder strap is. And con number 3, while I do love the front stretchy pocket, the lack of a zipper or really any secure closure, that's gonna be a deal breaker for a lot of people. But there's also a good chance that if you've made it this far into the review, you are totally digging this sling. And if that's the case and you're thinking about making a purchase, just a reminder, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description below. Again, that link just makes sure you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold on the Able Carry Core Mini Sling, here's 2 alternatives you might like more. First up, if you're new to the Nomads Nation channel, you should definitely check out our leaderboard rankings video. In this video, the whole Nomads Nation team, we get together and we pick our favorite bags in different bag categories. And it's a really interesting video because I'm surrounded now by 700 bags. So we have our choice. But also what makes it more interesting is that we all have different perspectives and preferences. So it's just a great way to see what the best options are on the market, and I've gone ahead and linked that above. But if we're close with this sling, let me talk about 2 more specific alternatives. First up is going to be the Tomtoc Sling Bean. We did not review this on Nomads Nation, but we did review it on our sister channel, Gear for the Girls. And like I said, it's a really similar build with some slight differences that might make it a bit more up your alley. One of which being, it actually has a zipper in this front pocket, giving you a bit more security. And also, as with all things Tomtoc, it's coming in at a lot lower and more accessible of a price point. And my second alternative will be the Bellroy Venture Ready Sling 2.5 liter. I think that aesthetically, we're not too far off between the Able Carry Core and the Bellroy Venture. They both use a really nice textured nylon, but I think the Bellroy, it's kind of like one of the most recommended slings in the world right now. Amazing comfort, great access. It's got the back pocket. It's a little bit less outdoorsy and a little bit more expensive. But honestly, it's one of my favorite slings of all time. Honestly though, this sling is cool too. The Tomtoc is as well. All these slings, they've got their own unique pros and cons. You just gotta figure out which set of pros and cons work best for your needs. But if you wanna learn more about the 2 alternatives, you can just watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.